Hello everyone. I'm going to be opening our Bibles to Genesis chapter 21 tonight for our Bible lesson. I want to invite you to turn with me there and we'll read part of the chapter. We'll deal with the first half of the chapter roughly in this lesson. And it's a very important lesson as we have worked our way through the book of Genesis to this point at chapter 21. We have seen the promises made to Abram and to Sarai, and now Abraham and Sarah, and we're going to really begin to see this come to fruition as we get to chapter 21. There has been long the promise that Abraham and Sarah would have a son, and remember back previously, Abraham and Sarah Abraham in particular sought to fulfill that in his own terms, Abraham and Sarah, by way of Sarah's handmaid Hagar, and Ishmael was born. But God had reconfirmed His promise to Abraham in chapter 18, reminded him that he would have all nations of the earth blessed through his seed, and that Abraham and Sarah would indeed have a son. Abraham and Sarah are old in age, and so this is quite a shocking thing, a miraculous thing, we would even say, that they would be able to have a child in this old age. So that's what's going to come to be here in Genesis 21. Very exciting times and exciting news for Abraham and Sarah. Let's read the first 21 verses of Genesis 21. And the Lord visited Sarah as He had said, and the Lord did for Sarah as He had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. And Sarah said, God has made me laugh, and all who hear will laugh with me. She also said, Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. So the child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, whom she had borne to Abraham, scoffing. Therefore she said to Abraham, Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, namely with Isaac. And the matter was very displeasing in Abraham's sight because of his son. But God said to Abraham, Do not let it be displeasing in your sight because of the lad or because of your bondwoman. Whatever Sarah has said to you, listen to her voice, for in Isaac your seed shall be called. Yet I will also make a nation of the son of the bondwoman, because he is your seed. So Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water and put it on her shoulder and gave it and the boy to Hagar and sent her away. Then she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water in the skin was used up, and she placed the boy under one of the shrubs. Then she went and sat down across from him at a distance of about a bow shot. For she said to herself, Let me not see the death of the boy. So she sat opposite him and lifted her voice and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad. Then the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said to her, What ails you, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him with your hand, for I will make him a great nation. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the skin with water, and gave the lad to drink. So God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an archer. He dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt. That's the first 21 verses of Genesis 21, and we'll dwell on just this for the lesson at this time. So in the first 7 verses we read that Isaac is indeed born. And so Sarah gives birth